Submitting Products to the NCRTM Guide for Product Submission and Websites tutorial. Welcome to the Guide for Product Submission and Websites tutorial from the National Clearinghouse of Rehabilitation Training Materials, also known as NCRTM. This tutorial informs grantees of their responsibilities for submitting grant products to the NCRTM and explains the process and timelines for submitting products to the NCRTM library. For more information about submitting grant products to the NCRTM, please consult the notice inviting applications associated with your respective grant or contact your assigned RSA project officer. Learning objectives. Understand the NCRTM's purpose and vision. Understand options for submitting products. Locate Department of Education and NCRTM accessibility resources to ensure products are Section 508 compliant. Understand the required disclaimers that must be included on all products. Develop awareness of the timelines for product submissions. Determine if website hosting transfer may be needed. Locate contact information for questions and support. Introduction to the National Clearinghouse of Rehabilitation Training Materials, NCRTM. Funded by RSA, the NCRTM is the central clearinghouse for vocational rehabilitation information for individuals with disabilities and offers the vocational rehabilitation and education communities an opportunity to contribute new knowledge to their specific fields and gain visibility for their work. The NCRTM is charged with carrying out Section 15 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 as amended. The NCRTM contains information and resources regarding 1. Location, provision, and availability of services and programs for individuals with disabilities. 2. Research and recent developments bearing on disabilities. And 3. The data regarding individuals with disabilities and their needs. New Editions Consulting, Inc. is the contractor for the NCRTM. Who uses the NCRTM? The NCRTM's audience includes individuals with disabilities and their families, vocational rehabilitation leaders, administrators, managers, and counselors, researchers, students and scholars, service providers, sign language interpreters, educators, trainers, advocacy organizations, businesses, federal partners, and other relevant stakeholders. How does the NCRTM contribute to the impact of grantee projects? The NCRTM is a key collaborator for sharing and promoting the work of RSA grantees through social media events, presentations, podcasts, highlighting upcoming events on the NCRTM website, and cataloging products in the NCRTM library. Working closely with the NCRTM ensures the sustainability of the work completed during your grant lifecycle. What is a product? The Guide for Product Submission and Websites and this tutorial references grantee products. Examples of products may include, but are not limited to, curriculum, training modules, technical assistance materials, toolkits, guides, and webinars. When should grantees submit products to the NCRTM? Grantees are encouraged to routinely submit products to the NCRTM throughout the life cycle of the grant via the NCRTM Library Online Submission Form. Routine submission supports an efficient transfer of the products to the NCRTM as the grant comes to a close. More importantly, it will ensure products reach a wider audience and extend their use through the NCRTM. Accessibility and documentation responsibilities. The accessibility of digital content is important to ensure all people, including those with disabilities, can access it. Before submitting products to the NCRTM library, grantees are responsible for ensuring all products meet Section 508 accessibility requirements. Grantees can find accessibility resources on the NCRTM Accessibility Resources page. Let's learn how to locate the NCRTM Accessibility Resource page. Go to the NCRTM homepage by entering ncrtm.ed.gov in your internet browser. The navigation bar on the homepage contains links to direct you to specific NCRTM pages, such as the NCRTM Library, RSA funded and other resources, trainings and events, accessibility resources, and join the NCRTM network. Select accessibility resources. Once you are on the NCRTM accessibility resources page, you will find tip sheets, guides, and video tutorials to assist with accessibility efforts. You will also find department accessibility requirements. On pages 7 through 9 of the Guide for Product Submission and Websites, you will find a list of common accessibility remediations that may help you when creating and reviewing content for accessibility. If grantees need additional support and guidance regarding accessibility, grantees may contact New Editions for support and guidance at ncrtm@neweditions.net. Please remember to copy your assigned project officer on the communication. Before posting products to the NCRTM library, grantees are responsible for the following tasks. 1. Ensure all products are accessible and contain the following disclaimer language: Authority 20 USC 1221E-3 and 3474. Disclaimer language. The contents of this insert type of publication, book, report, film, were developed under grant number, insert the PR award number, from the U.S. Department of Education. However, these contents do not necessarily represent the policy of the U.S. Department of Education, and you should not assume endorsement by the federal government. And 2, perform spelling and grammar checks on all products. New Editions has no involvement in the development of grantee materials and does not provide professional editing services. For reference, disclaimer information and language can be found on page 2 of the Guide for Product Submission and Websites. Options for submitting products. As previously mentioned, grantees are encouraged to submit products to the NCRTM library throughout the grant lifecycle. However, at least 6 months prior to the end of the grant, grantees that do not plan on hosting the grant website after the grant lifecycle ends, or that have not posted all products to the NCRTM library, should work with the assigned RSA project officer to review and select one of the following options to ensure the sustainability of products. Product submission option. Most grants result in a series of products that can be uploaded to the NCRTM library by using an online submission form. No account is needed to upload products. Transfer website hosting option. In some instances, the entire grantee website may be of significant value for the communities the grant supports. In this case, RSA may authorize the grantee to transfer website hosting to the NCRTM. Let's review how to locate the NCRTM library online submission form for product submission. Go to the NCRTM homepage by entering ncrtm.ed.gov in your internet browser. As mentioned previously, the navigation bar on the homepage contains links to direct you to specific NCRTM pages. Select Library. Once you are on the NCRTM library page, select the Submit Materials to the NCRTM library link on the top right of the page to go to the NCRTM library online submission form. A detailed video tutorial about filling out the NCRTM library online submission form is available on this NCRTM YouTube channel. A link to the video tutorial is available in the YouTube description below. What to expect after product submission to NCRTM. After a grantee submits a product to the NCRTM library, New Editions conducts a review to ensure it is accessible, has the required disclaimer, and has no other technical issues. New Editions will contact the grantee to communicate accessibility remediations or other items that may need to be addressed with a copy to the assigned RSA project officer. Once the product has been remediated and there are no other issues, New Editions will notify the grantee and RSA project officer and publish the product in the NCRTM library. New Editions staff is available to support grantees' submissions and to work with grantees throughout the process. For technical issues, submission status, general questions, or accessibility support, please contact NCRTM at ncrtm@neweditions.net with a copy to your assigned RSA project officer. Important timelines. The timelines described in the Guide for Product Submission and Websites assist grantees with understanding requirements and necessary activities to allow for effective time management and successful product submission. Let's get started. Timeline for product submission. Page 4 of the Guide for Product Submission and Websites provides the timeline for product submission. 180 days before the end of the grant period of performance, grantees should develop a plan to submit and upload products to the NCRTM library. If there is a high volume of products or further guidance is needed, contact New Editions at ncrtm@neweditions.net for assistance. Make sure to review your plan with your assigned RSA project officer for approval. At 150 days before the end of the grant period of performance, grantees should complete a review of products to ensure they are accessible and contain the required disclaimer language. The NCRTM accessibility resources can be leveraged to assist with accessibility efforts. At 120 days before the end of the grant period of performance, grantees should begin uploading products to the NCRTM library via the NCRTM library online submission form or through an alternative method established with New Editions. Submitting and uploading products at this time allows grantees to ensure products are submitted, tagged, organized, and cataloged appropriately prior to the end of the grant period of performance. All products must be uploaded and submitted by the end of the grant period of performance. Timeline for transferring website hosting to NCRTM. Page 5 of the Guide for Product Submission and Websites provides the timeline for transferring website hosting to the NCRTM. In some cases, the entire grantee website may be of significant value for the communities the grant supports. If the grantee is unable to sustain or host the website after the grant ends, transferring website hosting to the NCRTM may be necessary. If you are interested in considering the NCRTM hosting your website, email your project officer at least 180 days before the end of the grant period of performance. If approved, contact NCRTM and include your RSA project officer and provide as much site documentation information as possible. Page 6 of the Guide for Product Submission and Websites includes all the site documentation information New Editions requires for transferring website hosting. You will need to make sure your IT team is involved for a successful website hosting transfer. At 160 days before the end of the grant period of performance, and upon authorization of website transfer, provide New Editions a final site documentation information. At 150 days before the end of the grant period of performance, review the website for accessibility. In addition, New Editions will initiate a meeting to review tasks needed for transfer. At 120 days before the end of the grant period of performance, continue to prepare the website for transfer. For example, resolve any known bugs, remove redundant files, and scan and clear broken links. Draft a notice for the website that indicates the grant has ended and there will be no changes or new content added to the website should be prepared in coordination with the assigned RSA project officer. At 60 days before the end of the grant period of performance, establish administrative accounts for the New Editions staff members that will perform the website transfer in coordination with the grantee. At 14 days before the end of the grant period of performance, a test version of the website in a new hosting environment will be set up by New Editions. Grantees will need to test this version of the website and work with New Editions to fix identified issues. The transfer of the website is complete at the end of the grant period of performance. Product dissemination. Consider how NCRTM may help disseminate your products through the monthly NCRTM newsletter and through NCRTM's social media channels. The NCRTM issues a monthly newsletter that includes RSA announcements, new resources, upcoming events from RSA-funded projects. Grantees are invited to submit articles. If you wish to submit an article, please forward it to ncrtm@neweditions.net. When crafting articles, please consider the following guidelines. Articles should be a maximum of 500 words. Articles should include program name and PR award number. All products described in the article must be accessible per Section 508 requirements. As mentioned earlier, accessibility resources are available on the NCRTM Accessibility Resources page demonstrated earlier in this video tutorial. Articles should include relevant grant-related web and social media links to increase their exposure. Grantees are encouraged to sign up for the NCRTM newsletter. Let's quickly review how to sign up for the newsletter. Go to the NCRTM homepage by entering ncrtm.ed.gov in your internet browser. As mentioned previously, the navigation bar on the homepage contains links to direct you to specific NCRTM pages. Select Join the NCRTM Network. Once on the Join the NCRTM Network page, you can find several options to stay connected with the NCRTM. Under the Sign Up for the NCRTM Newsletter option, select the Sign Up link. You will be directed to a sign up page. Enter your email address, select the authorization to receive further updates, and then select Submit. You will now receive monthly newsletters from the NCRTM. On the Join the NCRTM Network page under the Sign Up link for the NCRTM Newsletter option, you can also view previous newsletters by selecting View Past Issues link. On the Join the NCRTM Network page under Follow Us on Twitter, you can also find NCRTM's Twitter handle, which is @RSA_NCRTM. The NCRTM uses Twitter as another source for promoting grantee events and products. If you are interested in NCRTM promoting your event or products through social media, please reach out to ncrtm@neweditions.net with details or questions. Conclusion. Thank you for taking the time to learn how to use the guide for product submission and websites. If you have additional questions, please contact your RSA project officer or New Editions at ncrtm@neweditions.net. The National Clearinghouse of Rehabilitation Training Materials, NCRTM, is maintained by New Editions Consulting, Inc. and sponsored by the U.S. Department of Education Rehabilitation Services Administration, RSA, under contract number 91990021C0033. However, these contents do not necessarily represent the policy of the Department of Education, and you should not assume endorsement by the federal government.